Hi friends, very good morning to all. Today I am explaining about the some basic definition and classification of the metals or solids. So in earlier class or previous class I explained about the merits and success of free electron theory and also explaining about the failure or demerits of free electron theory of metals or solids. So we can see in the PPT these are explained. There are three theories explained by different scientists, that is classical, quantum theory, band theory. So the corresponding scientists what they are going to say, and these are the success and some definitions, and these are the drawbacks. So these all are about the explained in previous class. Today I am going to define some definition, that is mean free path. So all of mean free path or average free path. So what is distance covered by the electron before successive collision, and what is the average distance traveled from every collision. All of you know what is collision. So that is two physically striking between the, here is electrons or bodies we can take. So average distance traveled by the electron between two successive collision inside the metal in presence of applied field. When you are applying the electric field to the any conductor consisting of so many electrons, they are randomly motion. So average with help of including the applied the field, what is the distance, successive distance traveled by the electron, that average distance is called as a mean free path. Okay, next relaxation time. So what is the time is taken from initial to final position from successive collision during time interval, that time we can relaxation time. We can define time taken by the electron to reach the equilibrium position from its distribution position in the presence of electric field. Within the electric field, what is the electron is successive collision from initial to final distribution, that overall time taken we can define it as a relaxation time. And drift velocity, we know about the drift. When you apply the electric drift, electron are drifted from negative to positive terminal of the battery. So in the presence of electric field, addition to random velocity, before also electron is moved without a electric field, but after electric field there is electron are drifted, it gets some energy, some force with the electron drifted, so it changes the velocity, that is additional net velocity associated with the electron, that is a drift velocity. Due to drift velocity, electron move with a negative charge, move opposite to the field direction. If your electric field direction, electron move in that opposite, or electron move opposite to the electric field, always move to positive terminal of the battery. So these are the definition. So let us start our classification of materials. Before only I told, so there are two methods to classify the metals or materials or solids, that is we can use band theory, or we can also use conductivity, resistivity. On the basis also we can define these insulator, semiconductor and conductors. So here we classify on the basis of band theory. That is band theory, you know they are consisting of two bands, valency band and conduction band. So there is a gap, that is a Fermi gap or energy gap. So one by one we can learn these things. So insulator, we know about large energy gap. So which one is the highest energy gap? That is diamond. So it is a bad conductor. It does not allow the flow of current or does not allow the flow of any electricity. So that is band conductor of electricity. Conduction band is empty. We know it is a band when the electron move from valency to conduction. So conduction consisting of conduction electron. So and valency band is full, and these bands are separated by large Fermi energy gap. We know about energy gap is greater than the 3 electron volt. That energy we can consider, that gap we can consider it as a insulator. So below that we can consider as a semiconductor. Zero energy gap we consider as a conductors. So we learn in PUC level or in earlier classes. So we see the PPT or this slide, we'll get easily. So best example is diamond, or all that is hood, glass, these all are also insulator, they are a bad conductor. What about conductor? So before only I told that conduction or conduction band and valency band, they are overlap, so there is no any gap, automatically that is conductor. Conduction and valency band are overlapped. About and free electron already exist in this conduction band at room temperature, hence conductivity is high. We know all about conductivity is high, automatically resistivity is very low. So resistivity increases with the temperature as the mobility of already existing electron will be reduced due to collision. Metals are the best example for that. So all of you using the electricity, in the electricity we use the solid metal, that is good conductor. That good conductor, that is copper, aluminum. So these are the good conductor of electricity. All metals commonly. Semiconductors. So formation gap is less, that is energy gap is very less, around 3 electron volt less than. So that is semiconductor. We know which one is the best example of semiconductor, that is germanium, silicon. We all know about the what is the energy gap of that is 1.1 electron volt, and this one germanium is 0.7 electron. Si is silicon 1.2 electron volt. So we can see conduction band are partially, conduction band and valence band partially filled at room temperature. The electrons are partially filled. When we give some small amount of temperature above 0 Kelvin temperature, automatically electrons are jump from valence band to conduction band. So these things we know. So conductivity increases with temperature as more and more electron crosses over the small energy. How we increase the temperature? Automatically electron, more and more electron jump from valence band to conduction. This flow of electron increase the conductivity. So, and also we can, with help of doping also we can increase the conductivity. So there are two types of semiconductor, that is eccentric semiconductor and eccentric semiconductor. Eccentric semiconductor, all of you know, it is a pure semiconductor. There is no any doping which we don't use, only increasing the temperature. So see the slide. A semiconductor, eccentric semiconductor, a semiconductor which is extremely pure form is known as eccentric semiconductor. Silicon and germanium are the most widely used in eccentric semiconductor. Commonly now germanium ಮತ್ತು silicon use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ eccentric semiconductor. Both silicon and germanium are tetravalent. So tetravalent, that is consisting valency 4 electrons. So valency band 4 electrons occupy ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತವೆ. That's why the name is tetravalent. Each has 4 electrons valency in their outermost shell. So outermost electron configuration either last orbit valency band it consisting only 4 electrons. That's why tetravalent. So each atom share with 4 valency electron with 4 independent neighbors, so that each atom involved in 4 covalent bond. So only eccentric semiconductor 4 one germanium atom with neighbor germanium adukku 4 electrons. So 4 electron ಒಂದೊಂದು electron ಒಂದೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ covalent bond ಆಗಿರ್ತಾವೆ. So they are equally shared, they are equally covalent bond is formed. So next it is a pure form. When we increase the temperature, automatically conduction will be takes place. Next all of you know eccentric semiconductor. Here one of the slide is missed. So eccentric semiconductor, it is a impure semiconductor. Why we can say that is eccentric semiconductor is a impure semiconductor? Because here we use the doping. Okay, doping means process of adding the impurities. So there are two types of eccentric semiconductor, that is pentavalent and N type and P type. So in N type pentavalent doping are used or pentavalent element are used. That is, for a best example for arsenic is the pentavalent element. Pentavalent means the valency band consisting of 5 electrons. That's why pentavalent. This pentavalent element doped with the pure semiconductor germanium or silicon, automatically 4 electrons are shared. One of the electrons are remains does not having any electron to make a covalent bond. Automatically one electron is free. So that's why in each and every atom it is one electron will be getting free. So these are indicates the number of free electrons are more compared to number of holes. What is holes? All of you know, in semiconductor there are two majority charge carriers, that is electron and holes. In conductor, free electrons. So that's why. So in see that n-type semiconductor which are obtained by introducing pentavalent impurity atom are shown n-type semiconductor. Example given the name. So yes, arsenic, bismuth. So some of the elements are there. These elements have 5 electrons. Before only I told that is their valency shell, out of which 4 electrons will be form a covalent bond with neighboring atoms. Because they are crystal arrangement, they are systematic arrangement, periodic arrangement of the atoms. So they are shared with the neighboring atom, making the covalent bond. So one of the electron does not require any bonding because it only consisting of 4 valency band to share. So fifth electron, when we are adding the pentavalent, so fifth electron will be available as the current carriers. The impurity atom is known as donor atom. This indicates the one of the atom is donor because it gives the 1 electron. That's why the name is n-type semiconductor donor atom. So n-type semiconductor current flow due to movement of the electron and holes, but majority of these through electrons. Thus electron in n-type semiconductor are known as a majority charge carriers and holes are the minority charge carriers. Which one the dominant? That is a majority charge carriers. That's why electrons are the majority charge carriers. So holes are a little bit lesser compared to electrons. That's why this yellow holes are the minority charge carriers. Automatically this is the opposite to of the p-type semiconductor. In p-type semiconductor they are adding the process of adding the element we are using that is trivalent element aluminum. These are the trivalent element. These are used to doping. So that's why it is also comes under the eccentric semiconductor. Eccentric semiconductor is an impure semiconductor. We can see the next slide. So semiconductor which are obtained by introducing a trivalent impurity atom are known as a p-type semiconductor. Example given indium, aluminum. So these are the atom. These elements have 3 electrons in their valency shell which will form a covalent bond with neighboring atoms. The fourth covalent bond will be remains incomplete. So before only I told. So in when you are doping with tetravalent element, that is semiconductor element, silicon or germanium, it having only 4 valency electron. But when you are doping with the trivalent element, only 3 electrons are making the covalent bond. One of the remaining will be available, that is holes. So that is here we can read that one. So fourth covalent bond will be remain incomplete. A vacancy is exist in the incomplete covalent bond, constitute a hole. So because only 3 electrons shared, one of the electron is ready to making the, or one of the hole is ready to take that place. So neighboring atoms is gain that electron, there is a vacancy is created. So the impurity atom is known as a expector atom. So because it gains the electron from that, that's why it hole. So in p-type semiconductor current flow due to movement of the electron and holes, but majority of 3 through holes. Thus holes is a p-type semiconductor are known as a majority charge carriers and electrons are the minority charge carriers. So before only I told that in n-type electrons are the majority charge carrier because they consisting of 5 valency electron. The 4 are the covalent making the covalent bond. One of the remaining it will be as it is. So automatically it gives the current carriers, act as a current carrier. Here p type material, so it needs an 4 electron to making covalent bond, but here only we are using to dope the trivalent element. One of the electrons still need, but there is a vacancy is created. This vacancy is known as a hole. So this gains, want to gain, that's why expector. It does not give the donate, it only gains the electrons, that's why expector. So automatically holes are the majority charge carrier for p type, and minority charge carrier in p type is electrons. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. I hope you are understand what I discussed in this class, and types of semiconductor and classification of semiconductor, and some basic definitions: drift velocity, relaxation time, and mean free path. Okay, I hope you are understand this class. Thank you so much.